Welcome to another edition of Arizona Living. Today we're going to answer the question, where is it better to live, the West Valley or the East Valley of Phoenix? Stay tuned! So guys, this is a question I get often. I was actually kind of surprised. I didn't already have a specific video on this topic. Now, just for reference, I've actually lived in both the West Side in Avondale for 4 years, and I also lived in Gilbert, where I currently reside, on the East Side for 4 years, okay? So I have a very good understanding of the West Side versus the East Side in terms of actually living there, okay? I'm not talking out my ass. I actually lived in both areas, okay? Now, the Phoenix Valley, for those of you that aren't aware, is pretty big. It's a good hour drive from the East Side to the West Side, all depending on traffic, okay? So it's pretty big. In the center of the valley is the city of Phoenix, okay? So again, I currently live on the East Side in Gilbert, but I did live in Avondale for approximately 4 years, okay? So let's talk about the West Side first. Now, in general, the West Valley I refer to as tumbleweed. It is just not as developed as the East Valley. There's exceptions to the rule. There are some cities on the West Side that are developed, but in general, the West Side, the West Valley of Phoenix is not as developed as the East Valley of Phoenix, okay? Places like Gilbert and Chandler. If you live on the West Side and you're offended, too bad. It is what it is. In another 10 years, maybe the West Side will get more developed, okay? If you do not have children, okay, I do recommend you consider moving to the West Valley. Goodyear is not bad. You could move to the West Valley if you do not have children, or if you're a bad parent, you could move to the West Valley with children. The schools suck ass in the West Valley. How do I know that? That was the primary reason why I moved from the West Valley to the East Valley, okay? This channel, I call it like I see it, all right? If you're looking to move over here for a lower cost of living, if you live in California, fine. Other states, it might be more expensive to live in Arizona than where you're from, okay? So, because house pricing here has skyrocketed. When I lived in Avondale, the school our daughter was slated to go to was rated a 4 out of 10. That is crap, you know? So the school she goes to now in Gilbert is rated a 9 out of 10. Now, Arizona is not known for their public school system, okay? It's the cream of the crap. What cities on the West Side are notable that you may want to consider relocating to? There's Verrado. Buckeye's kind of ghetto. People get mad at me when I say Buckeye's ghetto. Verrado's the very, very, very nice area of Buckeye, okay? I lived in Avondale. Anything north of the 10 in Avondale is okay. South of the 10, where I live, is kind of ghetto. Like I mentioned, Peoria and Goodyear, those are also cities to consider on the West Valley. In the West Valley, I should say. Now, in the East Valley, you know, some of the better cities to consider moving to are Chandler and Gilbert. There's also Queen Creek, and you know, there's definitely a downside to living on the East Valley. See, because it is more desirable, we have a lot more people that live on the East Valley, and that causes more congestion in terms of traffic if you're commuting to Phoenix, okay? Phoenix proper. So that's a bad thing I gotta say about living in the East Valley is traffic. But they just finished doing the 202, and so basically you have a faster route to get from the East Valley to the West Valley. So that's kind of cool that they finished the 202. I know some of you are gonna say, what about Westgate in Glendale, where the stadium is? Yeah, it's okay. It's alright. It kind of reminds me of Tempe Marketplace, but that's not a reason to move to the West Valley, you know? It's alright. The West Side, I'm a big fan of the zoo that's in Litchfield Park, Wildlife Zoo. That's a great, great zoo. Highly recommend it. Not a fan of Surprise whatsoever at all. But, you know, it's pretty desolate there. I Googled when I was going to do a city tour in Surprise. I Googled what to do in Surprise, Arizona, and it showed a picture of a park. I kid you not. That was it, a park. Okay? I do not recommend Surprise. Again, if you're considering relocating to the West Valley, I would recommend Verado. Okay, Verado is very pretty, but very expensive too. So those are my comments, guys. You guys asked me specifically my opinions about living in the East Valley versus the West Valley, and that's what I have to say. So that concludes another edition of Arizona Living. Be sure to like, subscribe, let me know below. What questions do you got for me regarding moving to or living in Arizona? Till next time!